Hi, I'm Jim Gordon in the offices of the Richmond Sentinel. Welcome to a special edition of Richmond Stories. He started playing piano at the age of 4 and performed his first solo recital at legendary Carnegie Hall at the age of 5. He was also featured on the Ellen DeGeneres Show.
I have been playing the piano for only 1 year and a half because when I was little I loved to play a keyboard, and then my mom sent me to a piano teacher.
Since then, this local pianist prodigy, known as Ryan Wang, has performed at many prestigious venues and alongside world-renowned orchestras across the globe, including solo recitals in Italy, China, Hong Kong, Japan, Singapore, Malaysia, the United States, Poland, and the UK. As a soloist, he has performed with the Singapore Symphony Orchestra, the Toronto Festival Orchestra, the Vancouver Metropolitan Orchestra, and the West Coast Symphony. Ryan, now 15, has won numerous music competitions and awards, and was also invited to perform on national television. He is currently studying on a musical scholarship in the UK and in France. And young Ryan Wang joins us now. I just mentioned France, where you've been studying. You just returned from France, where you competed in a solo competition. You were 15. This competition, you were in the category of 16 to 30,
Yes.
youngest, and you won.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Well, it was competitions are always very interesting experiences because each one is different, and this one was so enjoyable because it was like a family, not really a competition.
Yeah.
So the competitors were also friendly with each other, and it was great going on the stage for the Parisian audience, and it was really great to celebrate with everyone afterwards as well. Playing was surreal. So
That is quite commendable. And I have to ask, when you go to a competition like this, are there categories, kind of musical boundaries as to what you can perform?
Well, this one was a Chopin competition, so everyone played Chopin, and there were 3 rounds, and they specified what you played in each round. So
Oh, great.
but yeah, I always choose pieces which are dear to me, and there's flexibility in between. But yeah.
Do you have a favorite composer? Chopin?
Yeah, Chopin is my favorite composer, yes. Yeah.
I first called him Chopin when I first saw his name when I was a kid. Chopin. Okay. I am fascinated by people with your prodigious-like talent because you took this up at a young age. Tell me, what was it that you first felt, saw, heard when you saw the piano? You started at 4.
Yeah, so I don't really remember actually.
It's a tough question, but did something just immediately strike you? I don't want to simplify it.
I just remember I would just be with the piano always, just on the piano or underneath the piano, or just around the piano. And I just remember when I was young, whenever I saw a piano, I just wanted to play it. So there was kind of an attraction towards pianos. That's kind of what fostered my love for this.
And I guess at a young age like that, you maybe can't articulate what it is, right? Is it just something that as I said, it's like a connection instantly with an instrument? I've interviewed a lot of musicians over the years where they started young, and you and everybody else seemed to have this commonality about that there was something that grabbed me. And it's interesting too, Ryan, I would imagine, because I can certainly learn how to play the piano, but I can't make it sing like I've heard you do. Are you constantly learning? Are you challenging, obviously, to keep your talent fresh?
Yeah, well, I always try and find new sounds on the piano, and I'm always learning kind of how I can create a better sound and how I can improve my pianistic qualities, and I mean, I've learned so much over the past year, like even in just the past year. And,
really? Okay.
Yeah,
what is it about the last year?
It's just a constant, it's just finding yourself, because everyone's kind of body is different. And so the way we all make sound is different. But I think in the end, it's about relaxation and being at peace when you're at the piano. And even when you're nervous, just to be relaxed in your whole body. And yeah, I think that's my big kind of discovery last year.
Yeah, because you kind of led me into my next question. When you are in these competitions, which I'm sure are very nerve-wracking, do you just get into a zone where you're not even thinking, you're just playing? Like does it just flow through the way, say, an athlete or a writer or an actor might be in a position, or a singer?
I think with athletes and athletes in particularly, I think muscle memory is really important. And I think for musicians, it is to an extent, but something has to happen on the stage, or something has to like come into you spiritually. And it's more than just, the fingers, and it's about what's inside. And I think that's what's so different to sports. And it's very physical, but there's something inside as well.
Yeah. Are there composers out there today, pianists out there today that you look at and get inspiration from? Past or present?
Well, I think now with YouTube and Google, and you can watch anyone. I think you say like, I'm not watching this person isn't going to affect me, but actually it does affect you. Everyone you watch, it's going to affect you in some way. And I think it's a culmination of what you've learned and what you watch.
Yeah.
And that determines how you, in the end, play. And I think, and everyone plays so differently, and their body is so different. So that's what's so special, I think, about each person. Yeah,
it's remarkable. I'm a very big jazz fan, and I look at the history of great jazz pianists, and they're all brilliant, but they're all their own artists. So you see that too, right? It's like, and you can take something that someone did before you and make it your own.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
One of the nice things I love about your story involves your mom, who was sitting just off camera and was kind enough to point out that my shirt matches almost the furniture. I didn't plan that, folks. But tell us about what you have done with Richmond Hospital. That was the first thing I read about you before I read about your story. And it does involve your mom, and we'll get serious here, because it really affected you and your closeness with your mom and what she went through. Tell our viewers about what you have done in a wonderful partnership with Richmond Hospital. Yeah,
so I partnered with Richmond Hospital many years ago, and it's been a very, I think, long-term and very friendly relationship, and I'm able to play concerts to raise money for Richmond Hospital, because they've done so much for my family, and especially my mom, and I think I'm just so grateful for that. And I think being able to use my music and to help Richmond Hospital Foundation is it's just the best thing that I could ever ask for.
A lovely story of giving back, actually. I'm glad your mom as well, and I love this, that Spencer Gall, who is the campaign director of Richmond Hospital Foundation, said, we wish to extend our gratitude to Ryan for sharing his incredible musical talent and fundraising to give back to the community of Richmond. So that's a nice thing. You are studying in UK and France. What is your next, if you can, give me the crystal ball and give me the next 5 years of your life? We make plans, God laughs, but can you envision, do you have a good sense of where you want to be when you're, say, old enough to drink alcohol in America at the age of 21?
Well, I want to just keep on doing piano. I think it's a lifelong thing for me now, especially. And I don't really know where I'm going to go after I graduate. I might stay in Europe, or I might come back to North America. I don't know, but I think I just want to be a concert pianist. That's my dream. Yeah.
And do you get, again, pardon my ignorance with this, but as a soloist, do you get, as you get toward finishing up your school career, are you approached by orchestras, or is it more, I want to do the solo, I'll play with orchestras occasionally, but I don't want to attach myself to just one?
I think usually as a soloist, I mean, I've worked with so many orchestras. I think we usually work with many different orchestras, and there were tours with one particular orchestra sometimes around, but usually it's wherever we go, and then if the orchestra's there, then we work with them.
And how much time, say, I noticed, for example, you play with, as you said, a lot of impressive orchestras. How much time do you need when you arrive somewhere like Toronto or Singapore, if you're going to work with an orchestra? Is it a couple weeks where you have to get used to each other's movements musically?
It depends, because sometimes I arrive and the next day I will play.
Wow, that quick.
So I don't know. Sometimes maybe it's just day of or day before we run through and then we go on the stage. Yeah, because usually I think we're both quite experienced, orchestra and me. We're
Right.
experienced with
Okay.
the
Sure.
concerto, so there are some places we need to do, but it's usually quite straightforward.
Yeah.
So,
I mean this as a compliment. I'm talking to you. You're an extremely bright young man. I forget that I'm talking to a 15-year-old. What do you get to be 15 in other ways? Like, do you have hobbies outside of the piano, or is the piano like a 7-8 hour a day kind of practice maintained like you would do if you're again
piano is like a hobby.
Yeah.
Because in my school, it's a boarding school, so we have to. It's a lot to do, like kind of not only in the classroom, it's very academically demanding, but we have like sports and
that's
we
great.
have, I mean, we have to hang out with friends as well, and be just I think be a complete human being. And then because I think if piano, I mean, I have so many other hobbies apart from piano.
Great.
Like, I mean, I like to eat and I like to go skiing. I'm going skiing tonight actually, and then like go mountain biking and stuff. So I think when you like have a less serious approach to something, you actually enjoy it more, I think. And,
Great.
You can, I don't know, you can, it's like, yeah, you just really love it. And I think if you view piano as that, it never becomes like a job or work or anything. It's just, I get to play music.
Yeah, I guess if you do what you love, it's never a job, isn't that
Yeah,
what they
that's
say?
true.
So,
Yeah.
it has been a real delight talking to you. I'm sure you've been told this by interviewers before that, I mean, at the age of 4, I'm just trying to figure out how to make my bed. You are playing the piano, and then Carnegie Hall at 5. Bless you. That is remarkable. Again, congratulations too for your partnership with the Richmond Hospital, and that's really great. Ryan Wang, great pleasure to have him on another Richmond story. Thanks to the folks here at Hamilton High Street for looking after us today. Look for this man, he'll be around. And of course, you're obviously all over YouTube and things like that, I'm gonna assume.
Yeah.
Excellent. There he is.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And look for one of our reporters, Matthew, of course, did a story on Ryan not long ago, but we'll have another story in an upcoming Richmond Sentinel.